Now, it has 500 million users around the world. This morning, it's believed 100 million of those have had their personal details linked onto the internet.
Facebook say that no one's financial details have been compromised, but this latest security flaw, exposed by a hacker, raises concerns about how much information we're all willing to share online. Sarah Jones reports.
There are many social networking sites, but Facebook is the latest to have concerns raised about its privacy. Without changing settings, your date of birth, your mum's maiden name, the name of your first pet can all be accessed. All the details needed to build up a profile that could compromise your security. My privacy settings are all intact, but I'm just one of Facebook's 500 million users. 100 million of those haven't made their profiles private, so they're at risk of having their details on a file-sharing site available to all. Facebook says people who use it own their information and have the right to share only what they want, with whom they want and when they want. In this case, information that people have agreed to make public was collected by a single researcher. This information already exists in Google, Bing, other search engines, as well as on Facebook. It's not the first time the social networking site has come under fire over privacy concerns. The default settings allow some details to be public. You have to opt out to guarantee privacy. If you have, your security hasn't been compromised, but make sure you're only sharing information you want.
Well, joining us is technology expert Kate Russell. So first things first, Kate, if I didn't have my privacy settings up,
yes,
then my details are already out there. There's nothing I can do about that now.
Yeah, absolutely. But we should actually point out that it is only your dedicated URL that your Facebook page resides at, your username and your name. They can then access additional information by going to your Facebook page, and anything that you've not made private will be accessible. But this is all information that is publicly searchable. You would have not opted out. You see, this is the problem, is that you don't have the option to opt in to making things public. That is the default option. So anybody who hasn't set their privacy specifically to be private and not public, then their details are.
So what could people do with that sort of information? What damage can be done by having that information?
Well, the damage is, it's really one of these sort of very subjective things, in that if you've been a little bit not smart about your security and you've made your password for your banking site your pet's name or whatever, then people could put two and two together with this information, and they could then compromise your security.
So they're going to have to work quite hard with the stuff that's there, but there's every potential that they could get some personal details that you certainly don't want them to have.
Well, no, not get it, but they could make some educated guesses. If you haven't been smart about the way you set up your password systems, then people could make educated guesses.
What about Facebook? Shouldn't they be doing more to protect people's privacy? They tend to be very hands-off in this sort of situation.
Well, Facebook have come under fire for a couple of years now. There's been a lot of media publicity about it, and actually, recently, in the last couple of months, they've simplified their privacy settings to make it easier for people with a few clicks to keep their profiles private. We have to remember that they would have... This is only information that you, as a Facebook user, when you set up your account, have agreed to be public. All that's happened is this guy has farmed it all from one particular place and put it onto this sort of file-sharing site.
So you shouldn't be too worried?
No, absolutely not. And especially not if you've been smart about your passwords.
Now, look, we're very excited this morning. We were talking yesterday about the questions that children ask us that we can't answer. And we've got someone very special coming in to answer those questions a little bit later on. Things like, why is water wet? But, Kate, you were actually on Johnny Bull's show as a little girl, right?
Yes, when I was 11 years old. And honestly, he is a complete legend. And it's one of the reasons that I became a technology and science journalist.
He's hiding over there grinning,
absolutely,
Kate. Very pleased with you saying this.
So he not only is he a legend, but she won on your game show as well. She won a load of board games, so we're very excited because Johnny's going to be answering all those questions
that drive you mad.
Why is the sun burning?
I've got one actually. Why? Darcy always says, "Why do I have to go to bed when it's daylight outside in the summer?"
Very good point.
Johnny, if you can give me the answer to that, my life is a happy thing.
Okay, thanks very much, Kate.
My
We're going to talk about more of that throughout this morning. Do get those questions coming in as well. Any more? Johnny's got the answers. GM.TV. We're going to find out what's happening where you are now.